So for starters, let's just have you go ahead and go through the list and kind of explain like what you were thinking, where your head was at for the whole thing, and then I'll show you some stuff that I thought about, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah, I'll give it a shot.
All right, go ahead.
So, for Soul Striker, I was just looking for low energy cost stuff. Um, so I could just manipulate the two energy that, you know, I get to restand every turn.
Right.
Of course, running the Beerses. Wanted to split the super combos, maybe use the Zenos for, um, like later on in the game and use the Vegetas earlier.
Yeah.
Just be able to cycle through the deck with the Vegetas and whatnot. Of course, the Pans, because Pan. Piccolo, high, value card, deflect, dual attack, and give it barrier.
Yeah.
Things like that. Just to have a little bit of aggressive strategy in there as well. Um, the
Right.
units, of course, the one of Boo is for protection in the later game.
Right. And then you got like your basic like
Yeah,
defensive package with the token negates and D magic,
yeah.
beam.
The one cost double strike Goku Blacks. You play it, you get to draw on that card too, and then you know, place battle cards on the bottom of the deck. Energy costs 4 or less, so you can't beat that for 1 energy.
Right.
Uh, Play them out, attack with him, restand energy for it. So you're basically paying nothing for it after turn 3. Um,
Well, that wouldn't necessarily work because Zamasu restands it on attack. So unless you do this on like an attack before, like attack with something else first and play this during that battle and then attack with your leader,
yeah,
that's the only way that would work. But I mean, I get what you're saying.
yeah. Just basically more free aggression.
Yeah.
Uh, After turn 3.
Mhm.
Um, Playing out the 6-drop Goku counterattack, deflect, triple strike, barrier, hard to get rid of.
Yeah. I mean,
Get
essentially 3 costs after your opponent's
Yeah,
turn 3.
exactly. And then, if it's in rest mode, they have to attack it. So it saves you a whole lot of kind of protect your life with it and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, the Vegeta counter. It's plays use up to your opponent's battle cards and place them at the bottom of their deck in any order. It'd be great for the, counterattack SCRs or just get rid of SCRs that are already on the board, maybe. For pretty cheap. And then have the, 20k dual attack for the crackback.
Right.
Um,
And,
Turn the Tide, game ender right there. When they go for their turn, just drop it.
yeah, I mean, turning the tide is the same thing it's been for, ever. It's just a way to end the games if you don't have any other way to end the game.
Yeah. Of course, the Zeno super combos, just being able to restand more energy.
Yeah.
Golden Avenger, game ender out there, boss monster basically,
Yeah.
and get to counter as well. Also, Kale, same thing. The Heat Unison, letting people, overcommit to their, because I just feel like that most decks, even after the bans and all that, are still going to be super dependent on their, awakened side of their leader.
Yeah.
Just being able to slow that strategy down a whole lot, I feel like it's going to be super important.
Yeah, it could be, since like most decks are Turbo Awakening on turn 2 now anyway.
Yeah, let them go ahead and put all their resources into that and then just flip it over.
Right.
All that work for nothing.
And then like
Oh.
defensively, if you know your opponent's about to Z Awaken and their Z leader's really nasty, you can just do this to buy yourself a turn.
Yep, for sure. because they can't even awaken until the end of their next turn, so
Right.
kind of slow that whole thing down. Um, Baby, unknown parasite, essentially a 2-cost unison for me. Um,
Or a 1 cost, actually.
yeah, it is actually. I was here looking at it right now. 1-cost unison.
I mean, it's kind of like your extra copies of Boo,
Yeah,
but at 3, which means it can't be black smoked and stuff like that, which is, yeah, baby's still good. Minus
oh,
5's
that's,
not irrelevant most of the time.
yeah. Probably, Beast Han, because Beast Han's gonna be another game ender, just another way to gain and restand, my leader, or any dual attack, anything else that I
Any one
need.
of these like big triple strikers that you want to, or double strikers that you have on the field. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then the Weiss, just a good little way to restand more energy, keep the advantage up. 6-drop Vegeta, for later on in the game, or I could probably pull it off about turn 4 if I did it right.
How so?
I think.
I mean, you're still like this deck doesn't really ramp, so you're still waiting until like turn 6 to play that card.
Yeah, but it's like pseudo ramp if I need it, just for more energy.
Yeah.
Like I say, I'm not real familiar with blue, so I just kind of pick and chose
Yeah. I got
stuff
you.
that's cheap and stuff that is giving me PTSD when I play against blue.
Right. I got you.
Things that hurt me. So, yeah, essentially that's it. And then probably end up adjusting some of these ratios on this for sure. This was
Yeah.
just the rough draft. Like I don't think I'll play 3 of the defending friends. I don't think that's quite necessary with all the other counters and stuff I have in the deck.
I mean, you have other counters in the deck, but that's your only like real floodgate in the deck.
It is, but it's got the whole, it's got more conditions than my other ones. That's why I was thinking about maybe the 3-drop Gohans.
Well, I mean, you still play this for 1. The only condition is like you don't get the floodgate unless you have the 3Z energy or Z battle card in play. But like if in your early turns, you play, pan once or twice, you're just like the first attack on your opponent, like early game, you're just gonna go to battle more than negate the attack, so you just combo the pans in there to make sure you have your Z energy that you need to put these online by like turn 3 when they're actually really gonna start being aggressive.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And then like the Z deck's pretty standard. Like I think there's some fair amount of people running the Android 21, which is decent here because it's essentially a 2-cost if you play it before swinging.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just pretty much modeled it after, generic blue Z deck.
Yeah, I got you. So like,
Super noob to blue, so
yeah, I got you. So this is what I was thinking based off like your list. What I would alter. I think Beerus is good at 4. The split on super combos is fine. I'm not a huge fan of it, but I understand like wanting to just draw some cards later on. I would say in a deck like this, I would just go for Zeno, but that's just me. Pan at 4, Piccolo at 3. Most of this is going to say fairly well the same. I think you were on 3 Bean. I put it up at 4 because, I mean, it's still just a really good defensive piece, especially because there was a fair amount of your stuff like Gohan and the Goku Black that you're going to want to go to battle, so you're going to want to have ways to defend yourself in battle to be able to get these off. So, like, the extra beam there, and then also I figured, like, 2 of the Ultra Instinct Kamehameha, pay 15K and either draw a card or switch one of your energy to active mode. So it's like a free 15K.
Pretty dope, yeah.
So you could go, like, 15K, untap an energy, and then play Goku Black. So you get out of the attack, and you remove a different card that's attacking. And draw a card.
Yeah, that's nice.
I would say definitely go 2 on the Golden Avengers, just because you're going to want to see them at the times when it's really, really important. I'm trying to remember. Uh, I went up to 3 of these because this card's just phenomenal. Like, it doesn't ignore barrier, but it just picks a 5 cost or less and puts on the bottom, which is really good in a lot of time, uh, a lot of situations. And then like
Yeah.
the auto when it turn it's played, it just picks a card and puts it on the bottom. So
And the triple attack's real nice too for the.
oh yeah, like this card definitely has to be answered, being triple attack on the crackback. And then like some other ways to like utilize your energy in the early turns with the extra untap, draw apes, because it's blue, so it doesn't draw a ton, but like having this in the early turns, that you want your Z energy, to play stuff and things like that. So like you combo these either into the Z or into the drop, and then pay 2, draw 2 cards, swing with leader, untap 2 energy, and then like just for like pesky removal stuff and things like anything that's going to give you trouble in the early turns. I thought that maybe like a 1 of Black Smoke would be good. I'm not a big fan of the 6-drop Vegeta in your list, so I cut it.
Right.
That could just be like a personal thing for you, but like to me, I didn't feel like it was the best option there. And then
Not really, because I was just like I said, just picking and choosing blue cards that
yeah,
thing.
yeah, for sure, I understand what you mean. And then like the Vegeta, the interceptor that you have there, like the dual attack is nice, and being able to bottom the 2 cards, but I don't know if only being able to play it at the counter timing is kind of mid to me. So I'm not a huge fan of that. So, but like I said, that's going to come down to your personal preference. My list is like 1 card higher than yours, but for like the bottom decking of things, you already got Beerus, the bottom deck stuff. You've got Goku Black, the bottom deck stuff. You got Gohan, the bottom deck stuff. So like most of the main cards that you're going to be playing throughout the course of the first like 2-3 turns are going to bottom deck cards anyway. So I don't know if you're going to want to be paying, because you still have to, even though this is the counter timing, you still got to pay the 3 energy to play it. I mean, personally, if I'm going to pay 3 energy, I'd rather pay 3 energy or 2 energy and drop this and this. You still bottom deck 2 cards and you get a triple striker and a double striker, or sorry, triple attacker and double striker. So it's a little more energy efficient that way.
Yeah, it makes sense. I just picked him mostly because I'm just a bigger fan of attack skills than strike skills.
Absolutely, and like that's why I'm like, if you want to do something like that here, because you got double strike, triple attack, and then like this is the better thing if you're gonna put something in the deck that says counter on it. Like the Golden Avenger is definitely the way to go. Like at least 2 of. Other than that, like most of it was just like the little small things. I moved the Rat Javelin to the side because I didn't think it was super great.
That's my only put 1 of in the deck. I mean, it'd be super situational in my opinion.
Yeah, it's very situational. Like, and you don't want anything that's that situational in the main deck. I don't think. But like, I would definitely say you want your power reclaimed at 3, maybe even 4. But that's up to you. And then the Goku Black at potentially up to 3. Like I said, some of these ratios is going to be like depending on what you want to do.
Yeah, I'll know more when I actually get all my pieces together.
But I would definitely, like, one of the big things is like I would go 3, if not 4, draw apes, because you've got some of your stuff like this, like a few of your cards that draw you stuff on play, but like this is going to fill your hand really big early on.
Yeah, as I was looking through like blue cards and stuff, I realized there's not a whole lot of draw in blue.
And there's definitely not. Like, well, mainly because like I think it's also because a lot of their cards come out really, really big with like, oh look, deflect barrier triple strike for 3. Doesn't really need to. I mean, most players are going to say yes, it needs to draw you a card too, but does it really need to draw you a card too? You want it to come to your house and rub your feet and wash your fucking clothes too?
Absolutely. I mean, at least draw me a card.
I mean, right?
Just yellow. Like if I'm not drawing cards, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I think that'll be like your biggest hurdle is going from playing yellow to blue. Is like, why didn't every card that I play draw a card? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But like that's why I think like the hit's good, and it's going to be good in a lot of situations. It can be black smoked, which is not too bad for you. If they're wasting a black smoke on something like that, that's not that big a deal. But establishing one of your unisons on like turn 2, 3, 4, whichever one it may be, just to draw you an extra card every turn, and then I said if you're try like once per turn, like during your opponent's turn. Sorry, I got tongue tied there. Play like a Beerus or like uh, Ultra Instinct Kamehameha on your turn to make one of your triple strikers super big. Draw your extra cards that way. Like you're gonna get some incremental card draw there. And then that's the other thing too is in the early turns, like a lot of players will try to not attack into your life too much to stop you from awakening. That's why I also really, really like the Xenos, so that in the early turns when you're like, damn, I really don't want to have to charge, one of my Golden Avengers, but if you're at 4-0 Xeno, you just grab it back later at the time when you really need it.
Right. Yeah.
And
Instead
then,
of filter cards, just play stuff out of my energy.
Yeah. And for those like really big attacks, I mean, if you look at it honestly, you're still on 2, 4, 7. I mean, you probably go up to maybe like a 4th defending France or like another negate somewhere, but like I said, most of your stuff you're gonna want to go to battle. Also, I forgot like you're paying like when you play it draw card. So in the early turns, you're like when you're unawakened, like turn 1, I'm gonna play this pan, draw a card, I'm gonna swing, and then I'm gonna switch one of my energy to active mode, and then on your turn when you swing into me, I'm just gonna combo pan away for the Z energy because I want to Android 17 you for the next 3 turns.
Yeah, and of course, Soul Striker being just inherently just a great generic draw a card on attack leader on both sides is nice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which
Like,
helps
that
with
does give it a big benefit too, even though it's an older leader that still draws on both sides.
yeah.
And plus, like when you awaken, you don't need to untap energy because of who you are, but you draw 2 cards when you awaken. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can take this list however you want it, but that was just kind of the thoughts that I had on it. But that it's entirely up to you.
A lot of opinion on blue, so
Yeah, I mean I've only played it like one time, and it was a whole different monster than Soul Striker, so it would do whatever it is you wanted to do.
yeah. It'd be good to get it all together and play test with it, which I'm working on.
For sure.
Get for some cards to come in and
Yeah, so like once you get in it and start playing a little bit, you can adjust ratios and things like that. As I said, I'm not much of a blue player, so you kind of take my opinions with a grain of salt and do what you will with them. But that's just if I were to build Soul Striker, this is kind of similar to where my head would be at with it.
right. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. But I get what you're saying with the super combos too. Like it might be viable to take the Vegetas out and just run for the Xenos.
Yeah, I mean, and if you wanted to, if you're worried about the draw, you could always grab a couple of other hey, 1 drop, pay 1, draw card. Because like even if you do nothing else on your turn and you play this mostly on your opponent's turn, you play 2 1-drops a turn just to draw you cards. And then, hey, I'm going to swing with leader, draw another card, switch 2 energy to active mode, and then pass turn.
Yeah, it might be worth it just to cut them completely.
Yeah. Like I said, if you wanted to go, like I said, maybe trim something, whatever, go up to maybe trim a draw 8, go down to 3, trim something else here, maybe like one of the Beerus destroys, and then go like 2 more 1-drops or something like that. Just pick any of the, a bunch of different 1-drops that draw you a card.
Right.
But I think you're fine where it is. I think you'll find enough. I think you'll find that blue has got quality enough cards that you don't need to draw 100 of them a game to be able to do well. I mean, obviously, having more is going to be nice, but it's not necessary.
Yeah. My whole friggin' thought process is, the more cards I got in hand over yours, the better I'm doing.
Right. Also, don't forget, like, if you did decide to go like black smoke in the main, like most people like only see like let me remove a battle card or unison, but you know, I mean, it does say just pay 2, draw 2 cards.
It does. And then with my leader, I could, play it, then swing with leader, restand the energy, and get it back. So I'm essentially paying black smoke for free to draw as well.
Yeah, like you pay 2, black smoke, swing leader, uh, draw another one, so that's 3 cards you drew. Switch to energy active mode, and then combo black smoke away to make sure your Android 17 is online.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. That's probably more than I would use it for than removing cards.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sometimes there's just a problem card or a problem unison that if it really is like crucial to your opponent's game plan, then I can see that. But
Yeah, that's probably what it get used mostly for, though, is to be putting Z energy and to draw some more cards.
yeah, because like this is where like this is a lot of ways where blue shines right now is like Beerus and Cell and Pachuto, like Cell being able to like slow down the aggressive decks by nuking the whole board, and then Beerus, well look, now I'm gonna bottom deck one of your battle cards, ignore barrier, and become dual attack.
Right. Which I love the dual attack.
Yeah.
And Cell's just Cell.
So yeah, Cell's just.
I'm not a blue player, but I feel like if you're not playing Cell in your Z deck, you're not playing blue right.
I mean, why would you not want to swing a triple strike crit?
Right. Super early in the game, like turn 4.
Exactly. Yeah, on turn
4. Yeah, I like it. Looks real good.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to get it all put together.
Well, hopefully, once you get it all put together, we can, get in the lab and do some testing and throw some videos up on it and see how it plays out.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to be playing blue, but we'll see.
I mean, you never know. You might just decide one event that you just like, you know what? Just gonna pick up Soul Striker this weekend. Why not? I mean, it's there. You might as well play it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm going to play it.
I'll look forward to you getting the rest of the stuff in so we can do that.
Absolutely, me too. No, I like the way that list looks, though. I got to shoot a copy of that. I want to compare it and see what
I'll shoot you over the list, and you can take it how you want to take it. But there's a few things there that, like I said, it just comes down to what you're trying to do here, whether you want to try and be aggressive or play like a very controlling route. I see blue, and I think like a good like mid-range controlling route.
Yeah, I felt like it should be like a mid-range deck. Something real low to the ground that just, can hold off the opponent. Yeah. But also, whenever it's time to go, it's time to go.
Right, exactly.
Takes me back to, Trunks Cheetah vibe.
For sure.
Yeah. Cool deal. But yeah, I'm super down with that.
I'll
definitely put all that in consideration. Put this thing together.
Nice. But yeah. I think that'll be the end of it. Hope everybody enjoys the video. If you guys have any other suggestions, just let us know.